everyone, welcome to episode 4 of the Morbid Monologue. For this video, I'm introducing a segment called Abnormal Artists. In this segment, I'll be choosing an artist to discuss that creates dark and morbid work. Feel free to continue the discussion in the comments and let me know what your thoughts are on their art in the video. I'd also like to let you know that none of the artists highlighted in Abnormal Artists are sponsors in any way. These are all just artists that I personally think are doing amazing work and want to share with the rest of the world. Just wanted to put that out there. The first artist I'd like to talk about is Stephen Chalmers and his body of work titled Unmarked. I first learned about this artist in college from one of my wonderful photography instructors, and his work is something that I've been wanting to study ever since. So when I decided to highlight an artist for this channel, he was the first person to come to mind. The more I learned about the images, the more I loved them. It's a series that I find to be beautifully morbid and enlightening. Each of these images were taken on the west side of the US, and at a glance appear to be lovely photos of various landscapes. However, once you learn the history of the location, the images take on a different tone. All of these locations are where the bodies of murder victims have been found. To make this series, Chalmers visited close to 300 sites between Washington, Oregon, and California. He would do Freedom of Information Act requests and use police archives and newspaper accounts to pinpoint the locations as accurately as possible. The results are these haunting images that seem to simultaneously capture silence and chaos. I think when most of us visualize a murder scene or dump site, we automatically think of the Hollywood version, a dark alley, creepy house, abandoned structure. But the reality is that death happens everywhere. It's possible your favorite hiking trail, park, or beach were once sites of a tragic ending for someone, and you may never know. It's all around us and unavoidable. But Stephen Chalmers is also teaching another lesson with these images. During his lectures, he asked people to name 5 serial killers. Unsurprisingly, people start listing off names like Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, Gary Ridgway, Dennis Rader. But when he asks them to name any of their victims, the room falls quiet. Because of the way these stories are presented in the media, and because of our own morbid fascination, we tend to easily forget the names of the lives cut short by these horrific people, and instead remember the monsters. For this reason, Chalmers names each image after the person that was found there, bringing awareness to the victim and the value of their life that was taken from them, and turning the image into more of a memorial to the victim rather than a sideshow curiosity of the murderer. I can't help but wonder what it would be like if we applied this same idea to the mass shootings that happen in America. I know other people have suggested the media not use the names of the murderer and instead focus on the victims, but it seems the concept hasn't stuck yet. Meanwhile, the constant coverage and attention given to the shooter becomes enticing to other disturbed individuals looking to gain their own notoriety and infamy. It's important to understand the difference between being curious and wanting to learn and glorifying a serial killer. It can be easy to slip and say something like, my favorite serial killer is, when I think what most of us mean is, I am most fascinated by this case. I'm certainly guilty of this. And I think Stephen Chalmers helps with reframing how we look at killers and tragic events by bringing attention to the people that lost their life. If you're interested in the work that I've shown you by Stephen Chalmers, go check out his website, askewview.com, where you can see more of his work and even purchase a book of this series titled Unmarked. He also has another powerful body of work titled In Memoriam, documenting roadside memorials throughout the US. It's another dark and beautiful series. I'll put a link in the description below. Tell me who you think is another fantastic abnormal artist that we should talk about in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. Goodbye.